Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel. Grab a very large cup of coffee because you are going to need it for this one. And honestly, I am just sitting here staring at my screen at 3 a.m. because my brain is completely fried. I have been typing for hours, my fingers hurt, but I just had to get this out to you guys before the sun comes up because the scoop I just got is going to absolutely melt the internet. So I am just going to dump all my thoughts right here, unfiltered, unedited, clunky, because I do not have the time or the energy to make this sound like a fancy Pulitzer Prize winning article. I just need to tell you what is happening. And it is so dark, so twisted. I am literally shivering just thinking about it. So let's just jump right into the madness. We all know what is happening on the surface right now. We see it every day. The whole Forrester and Spencer drama, the fashion wars. But mostly we see the young love drama. We see Electra Forrester moping around. We see Will Spencer moving on with Melissa Dillon. And we see RJ Forrester stepping up to be the good guy, the hero, the sweet, supportive guy who is just there for Electra when she needs a shoulder to cry on, right? Wrong. So wrong. Dead wrong. Because RJ Forrester is hiding something so massive and so evil that it makes every other villain on this show look like an amateur. And it all goes back to Luna. Yeah, Luna. Remember her? Of course you do. We all mourned her. The whole fandom cried when she died a few months ago. It was tragic. It was sudden. It left a massive hole in the canvas. And we all watched RJ grieve. We watched him cry. We watched him look so broken and lost without her. But it was all a lie. A massive, sick, twisted lie. Because Luna is not dead. I know. Just let that sink in for a second. Take a breath. Luna is alive, but she is not living on a beach somewhere. She did not fake her death to escape some mobster. No, she is alive because RJ saved her. Somehow, in some crazy soapy twist of fate, RJ managed to save Luna from whatever was supposed to kill her, but he did not take her to a hospital. He did not call the police. He did not call her family. He took her, he hid her, and he has been keeping her as his own personal prisoner ever since. And where is he keeping her? You are not going to believe this. He is keeping her in the basement of the Forrester mansion. Yes, the Forrester estate. The big, beautiful, glamorous mansion where Eric Forrester hosts dinner parties and family gatherings right under their feet. In the dark, in the cold, in the basement. Luna is locked up. Just think about the logistics of that for a second, because my tired brain is trying to process it. The Forrester mansion is huge. It has so many rooms, so many forgotten corridors, and apparently a basement that nobody ever goes into. RJ must have found a secure room down there, maybe an old wine cellar, maybe an old storage room for ancient fabric rolls. I don't know. But he turned it into a cage, a literal dungeon for the girl he claims to love. And why? Because he is obsessed. RJ is completely, totally, psychopathically obsessed with Luna. He could not handle the idea of losing her. He could not handle the idea of her having a life outside of him. So when the opportunity presented itself, when everyone thought she was dead, he just took her. He decided that if he could not have her in the real world, he would keep her in his own private world where he controls everything, where she can never leave him, where she belongs only to him. It is just so sick, and it completely changes everything we know about RJ. We all thought he was the golden boy, the sweet blogger, the good son of Ridge and Brooke, but he has that dark Forrester DNA in him. Or maybe he just snapped. Maybe the grief or the pressure just broke his brain, because you do not just lock a girl in a basement unless you are completely detached from reality. But here is where it gets even crazier. And this is the part that is making me want to scream at my television. RJ is not just sitting in the basement with Luna all day. No, he is living a double life. He is going upstairs. He is going to work at Forrester Creations. He is designing, he is chatting with his family, and he is dating Electra. Yes, Electra Forrester, the girl who is currently heartbroken over Will Spencer, the girl who is being manipulated by her Aunt Ivy. RJ is swooping in and playing the perfect gentleman with Electra. He is taking her out. He is comforting her. He is kissing her. And I just cannot stop thinking about the timeline of all this, because we just saw RJ and Electra having that private dinner at the Forrester estate. We saw them hanging out. We saw them go for a moonlight swim in the Forrester pool. They were splashing around. They were flirting. They were taking cute selfies for social media. And all the while, just a few feet away, down in the dark, Luna is locked in a cage. Can you even imagine? Can you imagine being Luna, sitting in that dark basement, cold, terrified, and hearing the splashes from the pool outside, hearing the laughter, hearing the music playing from the patio, hearing the boy who kidnapped you flirting with another girl? It is psychological torture. It is the most horrifying thing I have ever heard of on this show. And RJ is just smiling. He is kissing Electra with the same lips he uses to lie to everyone. He is touching Electra with the same hands that lock the padlock on Luna's cage every night. He is a monster, a charming, handsome, wealthy monster hiding in plain sight. And we have to talk about Ivy for a minute, because my blood is boiling over Ivy Forrester. Ivy thinks she is so smart. She thinks she is the master manipulator. She stole Electra's letter. She planted Will's broken necklace. She basically destroyed Electra and Will's relationship because she thinks she knows what is best for her niece. She thinks Will is a bad guy because he is a Spencer, and she thinks RJ is the perfect guy because he is a Forrester. She literally said RJ is a remarkable young man. She took photos of RJ and Electra kissing and posted them online to make sure Will saw them. She is actively, aggressively pushing Electra into RJ's arms. Ivy thinks she is playing matchmaker, but she is actually leading a lamb to the slaughter. She is handing her own niece over to a psychopath. If Ivy had just left things alone, if she had just let Electra and Will be happy, Electra would be safe right now. She would be miles away from RJ. But no, Ivy had to meddle. And now Electra is falling right into a trap. Because RJ does not love Electra. Not really. How could he? His entire soul is consumed by his obsession with Luna. Electra is just a prop to him, a cover story, a way to make himself look normal to the rest of the world. If he is dating Electra, nobody is going to suspect that he is a deranged kidnapper. He uses Electra to play the role of the good guy moving on, but the cracks are going to show. They have to. You cannot maintain a double life like this forever. You cannot keep a human being locked in a basement of a busy mansion without slipping up. And that brings me to the absolute climax of this whole horrific storyline, the moment of discovery, because Electra is going to find out. It is inevitable. Electra is spending more and more time at the Forrester estate. She is comfortable there. She is wandering around the house, and RJ is getting arrogant. He is getting sloppy. When you get away with something this evil for months, you start to think you are invincible. You stop double checking the locks. You stop being so careful about the noise. So how is it going to happen? My brain is just spinning with theories, because I am so tired, but I am so wired. Maybe Electra's over at the house for another date. Maybe they have another swim, and RJ goes upstairs to get a towel or to make a drink, and Electra is left alone. And maybe she hears something, a thump, a cry, a scrape against the floorboards. The Forrester mansion is old. Sounds travel in weird ways through those vents. Maybe she hears a muffled voice. And Electra is curious. She is a designer. She has an eye for detail. She is not just going to ignore a creepy noise in a massive empty house. So she starts walking. She follows the sound down the hallway, past the kitchen, to that heavy wooden door at the end of the hall that is always locked. But this time, because RJ was distracted by his date with Electra, because he was in a rush, the door is unlocked and Electra turns the handle and she opens the door and she sees the stairs leading down into the dark. I can literally see the scene playing out in my head right now. It is like a horror movie. Electra slowly walking down those wooden stairs, the air getting colder, the smell of dust and dampness, and she reaches the bottom, she turns the corner, and she sees the cage or the locked room, and she looks through the bars or the window and she sees a girl huddled in the corner, dirty, pale, terrified, and the girl looks up and it is Luna. Just imagine the shock, the absolute mind-shattering shock that Electra is going to feel. She thinks Luna has been dead for months. Everyone does. And here she is, locked in the basement of RJ's house. The boy who just kissed her upstairs, the boy who told her she was beautiful. Electra is going to freeze. She is not going to understand what she is looking at. Her brain will not be able to process the level of evil she has just stumbled into. She will probably gasp. She might even say Luna's name. And Luna will beg for help. She will tell Electra to run. She will tell her what RJ is, but it will be too late because RJ will realize he left the door unlocked. He will notice Electra is missing from the patio and he will know exactly where she went. He will come down those stairs and his face will be completely different. The sweet, charming RJ smile will be gone. The mask will fall off. And the obsessed, psychotic monster will be standing there in the shadows. And he will look at Electra and he will know that his secret is out. He will know that he cannot let her leave because if she leaves, she goes to the police, she goes to Ridge, she goes to Will. And RJ loses Luna forever and he goes to prison. So what does he do? He does the only thing a cornered psychopath can do. He attacks. He is going to grab Electra. She will fight. She will scream. But they are in a soundproof basement. Nobody is going to hear her. He will overpower her and he will lock her into. And just like that, RJ goes from having one prisoner to having two. And the dynamic in that basement is going to be insane. Luna and Electra, two girls who have both been manipulated and used by RJ in different ways. Luna, the obsession, and Electra, the cover story. Now they are both trapped in the same nightmare. And think about the fallout of this. Think about what is happening above ground while these two girls are locked in a dungeon. Ivy is going to be so confused. She will wonder why Electra stopped calling her. She will wonder why Electra is not showing up for work at Forrester Creation. And RJ will probably lie to her. He will probably tell Ivy that Electra decided to take a sudden trip. Or maybe he will say Electra was so heartbroken over Will that she needed to get away. And Ivy, being the arrogant meddler she is, will probably believe him. She will probably think her niece is just taking a mental health break. She will have no idea that her meddling put Electra in a cage. And what about Will? Will is currently moving on with Melissa Dillon. Dillon just told Will that she loves him. They are getting closer, but Will still cares about Electra. Deep down, he still loves her. When Electra disappears, Will is going to feel it. He is going to know something is wrong, but Dillon is hiding Ivy's secret. Dillon knows that Ivy manipulated the breakup. So if Dillon stays quiet, Will might just think Electra ran off with RJ. Will might just give up completely. The web of lies is just so thick. Every single person in Los Angeles is lying or keeping a secret, and it is all creating the perfect storm for RJ to get away with this. And what about Steffi? Steffi is the boss at Forrester. She hired Dillon. She told Electra to suck it up. When Electra goes missing, Steffi might just think Electra quit because she was acting like a brat. nobody is going to be looking for Electra right away because everyone thinks she is just being dramatic about her love life. It is the perfect crime. RJ has created a scenario where nobody is going to look in the basement. But I just cannot get over RJ. I keep typing his name and I keep shaking my head. Ridge Forrester's son, Brooke Logan's son, the boy who was supposed to be the normal one, the one who stayed out of the drama, the one who just wanted to make videos and design clothes. How does a person break like that? How do you go from a normal guy to a kidnapper? It has to be the obsession. Luna was his everything. He loved her with a ferocity that was not healthy. We saw hints of it. We saw how intensely he looked at her. We saw how he wanted to protect her from everything, but we thought it was just romance. We thought it was just a soap opera love story. We did not realize it was a warning sign. He thinks he is protecting her. In his sick, twisted mind, I bet RJ actually believes he is the good guy. I bet he goes down to that basement and talks to Luna like they are just hanging out in an apartment. I bet he brings her food on nice plates. I bet he brings her clothes from the Forrester line. He probably tells her he loves her every single day. He probably tells her that he had to do this to keep her safe from the world. That is the scariest kind of villain, the one who thinks he is the hero of his own story. And now he is going to have to deal with Electra. Electra is not going to be compliant. Electra is a fighter. She is angry. She is going to yell at him. She is going to demand to be let out. How is RJ going to handle a rebellious prisoner? Will he drug her? Will he tie her up? The darkness of this storyline is just off the charts. It is pushing boundaries that B&B has not pushed in a long time. I mean, we have had kidnappings before. Sheila Carter has kidnapped half of Los Angeles. Thomas Forrester kept a mannequin and hid the truth about baby Beth. But this is a long-term, calculated, physical imprisonment of two young women by a guy who is simultaneously running a fashion house and going to family dinners. It is chilling. And I have to wonder about Eric Forrester. It is his house. Does he not notice his water bill going up? Does he not hear the floorboards creaking late at night? Does he not wonder why RJ is always locking that one door? Eric is getting older. He is distracted by the war with Logan and Katie and Brooke. He is not paying attention to the basement. And Ridge and Brooke, they are so busy fighting Bill Spencer and Katie over fashion designs. They are so busy sabotaging press conferences. They have no idea that their precious son is a monster. Imagine the devastation when they find out. It will destroy Brooke. It will absolutely break her to know that she raised a boy who could do this to Luna and Electra. And let's talk about the contrast again, because as a journalist, the juxtaposition is just blowing my mind. Upstairs, glamour, fashion, wealth, silk dresses, champagne, family arguments about who owns what design, sunshine, swimming pools, social media selfies, downstairs darkness, concrete floors, a locked cage, fear, despair, tears, two girls wondering if they are ever going to see the sun again. It is like two different worlds existing in the exact same physical space. And RJ is the gatekeeper between them. He walks up and down those stairs, shedding one skin and putting on another. I am just typing furiously now because I cannot stop the thoughts from pouring out. I need to know how this ends. I need to know who saves them. Will it be Will Spencer? Will finally realize that Electra didn't just run away? Will he put the pieces together? He is a Spencer. He has that investigative drive in him. Maybe he notices something off in one of the selfies Ivy posted. Maybe he sees a reflection in the window. Or maybe Daphne Rose finds out. Daphne is already keeping Ivy's secret. She is feeling guilty. She is trying to have a baby with Carter. She is stressed. Maybe the guilt of keeping the secret about the breakup makes her want to talk to Electra. So Daphne goes to the Forrester mansion looking for Electra, and maybe Daphne is the one who hears the noise. But if Daphne goes down there, then RJ might have 3 prisoners. And he cannot keep doing that. He cannot just keep collecting women in his basement like dolls. Eventually, the whole thing has to collapse. But for now, he is getting away with it. And he is going to kidnap Elektra. That is the spoiler. That is the truth. Elektra is going to stumble into the wrong room. She is going to see the ghost of Luna, and RJ is going to snap the trap shut on her too. I am exhausted. My coffee is cold. My fingers are cramping. But I am so hyped for this storyline. It is dark. It is gritty. It is going to give all these actors the best material they have ever had. RJ is going full psycho. Elektra is going into survival mode.